Greetings and welcome to this Frontier help video to get you chatting in game with TeamSpeak. So we're assuming that at this point, this is the awful screen that you've been dealt. In the first instance, we're going to get out of this screen. So I would use F8 and then type quit. And that will send you back to your desktop. And then what we need to do before we go on and fix TeamSpeak is make sure that we've got TeamSpeak completely closed. Now I can see that my problem here is that I don't have the Saltychat installed. So that's the first part that we're going to deal with here. So we're going to close TeamSpeak. I'll disconnect first and then I will close. Then what you need to do is go into your task manager, because TeamSpeak has a nasty habit of leaving legacy processes hanging around. So have a look through your task manager. I can see I don't have any TeamSpeak apps running. And then I'm just going to scroll down this list and double check that I don't have any TeamSpeak legacy processes. And sure enough, I do. So I'm going to click on my TeamSpeak, right click, and then end task. If you try and install Saltychat with any element of TeamSpeak running, the chances are it won't work properly. So this is an important step. Okay, now I'm all clear. So going to go back to the Frontier Discord and I'm going to go to the top, the Frontier Roleplay channel, and then scroll down until I reach the TeamSpeak channel. Click in the TeamSpeak channel and you'll get all of the instructions on setting up TeamSpeak and Saltychat. What you need to do to find the right version of Saltychat, at the moment it's 4.0.1. You will click in this little area and that will go on and open up a browser window and automatically start downloading the Saltychat plugin. All right. So if you then open up your downloads folder, you'll see your Saltychat plugin is right there. You can see how many times I've tried this. And there's my latest version of the plugin, 4.0.1. So I'm going to double click that and that's going to start the plugin install. So it's a TeamSpeak add-on, right version, Win64 platform, and then I'm going to click install. Pop you up with a little warning. Do you want to proceed with installing? Yes, I do. And then the add-on is successfully installed. Do I want to activate? Yes, I do. Close this up. And then I'm going to go back to my TeamSpeak. Okay. Go into my TeamSpeak client. And then if I go to Tools, Options, I will see in my add-ons at the bottom here, I've got Saltychat version 4.0.1 and it is enabled. If it's not enabled, you will see a grayed out little bar there and it will say disabled. You need to click it to enable. This is all fine. Okay, then you should be good to go. So let's just test it here by connecting to the Frontier TeamSpeak. And there you are. I've got this lovely little area, Saltychat 4.0.1. You certainly should be good to connect now to the Frontier. If you still have problems, please feel free to go on to part 2 of this video. Welcome to part 2 of the video. So in this instance, we're going to realise that we've actually got the wrong version of Saltychat installed. With the wrong version, you may find that you can connect a game and that it's not working properly or that you get frequent crashes. So we're going to talk you through how to completely remove Saltychat so that you can go back to part 1 and install the latest version. So in the first instance, I'm going to disconnect and then I'm going to go to Tools, Options, Add-ons, and then down at the bottom of this screen, I can see I've sadly got the old version of Saltychat version 3.1.2. So I'm going to uninstall it. You need to double click this here and there it is, all gone. Okay, so close down your TeamSpeak completely. Then what you need to do is go to your file explorer, because an uninstall of Saltychat has a nasty habit of leaving some legacy files within the folder. To get rid of these legacy files, you go into your file explorer, and up in your search bar you need to type %appdata, APPDATA%, and that will take you to the folder which contains all of the application data for all of the different programs that you have on your PC. And then down at the bottom of this you'll see the TS3 client folder. Double click into there, and then you need to select the plugins folder. Double click into there, and you'll see that even though I have deleted and uninstalled Saltychat, I'm still left with the Saltychat folder and a little DLL there. So I'm going to delete both of those by selecting them and double right clicking and pressing delete. Okay, so that's all gone. Saltychat's completely removed, and you'll now be free to go back to part 1 of this video and go through the fresh install of the new version of Saltychat. If you still have problems, in part 3 I'm going to go through a full delete, uninstall of TeamSpeak and Saltychat and take it from the top with a fresh clean install. In this part of the video I'm going to go through how to completely uninstall an old version of TeamSpeak, and then through how to install the latest and greatest version of TeamSpeak that we need to use in the frontier. So you can see here I'm on a legacy version, TeamSpeak 3.6.0. In the first instance I'm going to disconnect, then I'm going to close TeamSpeak, going to go into my task manager and make sure that there's no legacy processes hanging around, just to make absolutely sure that I get a complete clean uninstall and reinstall. So I've got nothing left hanging around. So I'm going to, it used to be a control panel, but we can now just use add and remove programs. I'm going to search for TeamSpeak, and then I'm going to click on these little right dots and uninstall the old TeamSpeak 3. Okay, so it suggests to you that it's the app and all the related info will be uninstalled. However, there may well be some legacy files hanging around, so we will just have a look for those and make sure that we've got a complete clean uninstall. Okay, so that's completely gone, theoretically. So just to make double sure, we're going to go into our file explorer. We're going to go here and look for our app data. And I'm just going to check for anything there. So there's nothing left over in roaming. And then I'm going to go up and look in local, double check if there's anything left there. And lo and behold, there is. So I'm going to delete that. So you're looking for TeamSpeak 3 folder, or it might be a TS3 client, anything like that relating to TeamSpeak or TS, unless you're sure that it's not something that you are using with those names. And so that's all gone now. So we can feel reasonably confident that we're completely free of TeamSpeak, and we can go ahead and put the new version on. So at this point, we need to go across to our Discord on the Frontier channel. We're going to scroll down from the top until we find the TeamSpeak channel. And then to make sure that you get the correct latest version, which you're after 3.6.2 Windows, not the Linux version, and then click on the TeamSpeak link down at the bottom of this screen. It isn't dangerous. Continue to download. It's going to open you up a browser, and it's going to download the executable for the version of TeamSpeak that we need. So you can show that in the folder. You can actually click it from there, but show it in the folder, and then double click to start the install of the shiny new version of TeamSpeak. Double click. I do want it to make changes to my device, so I'll say yes. Wait while it downloads. It's going to unpack all the data. Okay. Click next to continue. And obviously you're going to read all of this. I'm a very, very, very fast reader. Okay, I accept all of those terms. Obviously, if you don't, then you'll need to come out and think again. I always say install it for anyone using this computer. And then I accept the default here. And then I choose the recommended option to save in the user's own files. We don't need the official TeamSpeak overlay, so I would deselect that and then click install. Okay, and that's actually finished setting it up. Okay, so the option there is to run it, so that should start it up. Now what you will find is another license agreement will pop up. Again, very, very, very fast reader, and I have accepted all of those. I'm not really interested in their promo, so I'm going to close that there. And then you don't need to put in a login user, email address or password, anything like that. You just say continue without logging in. And then choose the nickname that you're going to use on the server. So I'm going to be the TeamSpeak user. Okay. And then you can go ahead and connect to the Frontier TeamSpeak. So you go back and then you can copy and paste the URL of the Frontier TeamSpeak server back to your TeamSpeak and paste that in there. Asking me for a nickname again. Okay, and connect. You don't need a password. Now, what you will hear as soon as you connect with the fresh TeamSpeak is you're going to hear something like connected and then user enter your channel, user left your channel, which is somewhat annoying. So you would go to self and then sound pack, and you want sounds deactivated. Okay. So once you've done that, if you then add this as a bookmark, that will remember your settings, and you can then feel free to use your bookmarks every time you connect to the Frontier. Okay, so we've got TeamSpeak now installed, tested that it starts up, but what we don't have is the Saltychat plugin. So I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to close TeamSpeak. Then I'm going to go into my task manager and I'm going to check and see if there's any TeamSpeak processes hanging around, even though I've closed it. So nothing in my processes, and I'm going to scroll down my background processes and nothing there. So it's done a clean shutdown. So we know TeamSpeak is now completely closed. We need to go ahead and install the Saltychat plugin. So we're going back to the Frontier channel, down to the TeamSpeak channel, and then open up the Saltychat download by clicking here. Okay, it's going to go into your browser and going to start your Saltychat download. Open up that folder, and there it is. There's my Saltychat, so I'm going to double click that, and it's going to be version 4.0.1, platform Windows 64, and I'm going to press install. Do I trust it? Yes, I do. And then that's successfully installed. So I've activated it. So I'm now going to reopen up my TeamSpeak. Okay, just really read really fast all of the Saltychat terms and conditions and accept that terms of use. And then I'm going to go into my tools and options, add-ons, and then scroll down to Saltychat version 4.0.1, and it is enabled. If it's not enabled, you'll see a little grayed out button there. You need to click that to make it enabled. This is already enabled. Okay, there's one more thing that you might like to do before coming out of here, and that is to go into your whisper settings. The instructions are on the Roleplay TeamSpeak channel. I'm just going to remind myself of them. So it's Tools, Options, Whisper, turn off Play Notify Sound, and turn off Always Show Whisper History when receiving a whisper. So turn off Notify Sound and turn off Show Whisper History, and apply those changes and say OK.